Hi, I'm Jaymie.
And I'm Stacey.
And this is the BodySmartPodcast.
We are women's weight loss experts on a mission to empower you to feel permanently in control of your weight and your health. And we have had an amazing run of the podcast so far, up to, where are we now? Spring 2025. But I have got a little break coming up. If you are watching on YouTube, you might see the visual as to why there's a baby about to pop out of here. And funny enough, Jay's about to become a daddy as well. Different baby.
Yes.
Make that very clear. Different daddies.
Yeah.
So we thought it was a good time to take a little break. And we are going to be regrouping, though, and coming back stronger than ever.
Yes. We're also moving into a new headquarters in the... Would you say the Liver buildings are world famous? They're not, maybe. Are they world famous?
If you're from Liverpool.
If you're from Liverpool, yeah. It's a very iconic building in Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah, Google it if you haven't heard of it.
Yeah, so we're going to be relocating our headquarters to there, building a new podcast studio to come back bigger and better for 2025. So it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, so we wanted to just say thank you so much for the last few years. It's been an absolute blast, and I, for one, love getting to speak to all the guests, prep for the episodes, geek out on all the cool stuff we get to talk about. And you're definitely not stopping us, just going to have a little hiatus. But if you have just joined us and you didn't realise how much of a back catalogue there is, we just wanted to let you know some of the older gems that we would recommend. So, Jay, do you want to lead us off with number one?
So we've got episode 91, which is everything you need to know about a calorie deficit. Fantastic episode if you just need to just go back over the ABCs of being in a calorie deficit. What is a calorie deficit? Some of the steps to take to be in a calorie deficit. I think this word everyone knows it now, maybe on social media, but then sometimes, how do we practically execute being in a calorie deficit, and what does that mean? This is a fantastic episode for that.
Yeah, totally agree. And even if you think you know, there might be some tips and tricks of how to actually get yourself in a calorie deficit and stay there that you might not have heard before. So worth a listen. Next up, we have one of our all-time favourite guests, Dr.
Yes.
Anis Mukherjee.
So this is episode 70, and Anis, the hormone doc on Instagram, is just fantastic. Lots of practical tips, very relatable, very real. Who's working with people on a daily basis. Like she's in the field, she's doing the good work. She's not one of these people that's just like reading textbooks and spouting out misinformation. She knows what she's talking about. She's working with real women and real people and getting real results, which is what we're about.
She's an endocrinologist, so she's an expert in hormone health, but she's also works with metabolic health, menopause. So literally all of the subjects that we talk about a lot and our clients struggle with, she is a gold mine of information. So not only listen to the episode 70, but definitely give her a follow on Instagram, the Hormone Doc, because she shares really great science-backed, evidence-based information on what you should and shouldn't listen to out there and all the noise on social media. The next one that I would recommend is another top 10 tips.
Yes. So this is episode 54. So top 10 tips for successful weight loss and how to keep it off for good.
Yeah.
And this is, what we've been talking about, which is very much those rules for life and these habits that we need to create in order to create not just, I think sometimes we've spoken about this a lot, but like a lot of people look at weight loss just being like, that's it. I've just got to lose the weight and when I'm done. But there's the bigger part to that, which is the weight maintenance, and that's where you're going to be for the rest of your life. So making sure you've got the right education, the right habits, environment up to success, and maybe got the right mantras to help you deal with certain situations as they pop up inevitably as you go through life. Yeah,
and do you know what? I actually think in the current scenario of weight loss medications becoming more popular, they deal with the weight loss, but they don't deal with that bit. Mm-hmm. So regardless of how you want to tackle your weight loss, I still think it's worth a listen because it's what comes after that's actually so important. Yeah, that's where you're going to spend the rest of your life, hopefully, is at that weight maintenance. You'll naturally gain a little bit of weight and lose a little bit of weight, but it's hopefully not going to be like giant spikes, like you're going to gain 50 pounds back. It's going to be very much around that healthy weight for you. So knowing how to maintain and sustain for the rest of your life and having the right education and habits is key for long-term success. For sure. And then the last one that I would urge every listener to go back, if you haven't already, and it is going back a little while, that's why I wanted to bring this one up, is episode 37, The Truth About Weightlifting for Women. Because it is still, as much as like for us, we bang on about it all the time. Yeah. And if you listen to the podcast, you're probably like, all right, guys, I get it. But there are still some misconceptions out there. There are still like lots of questions that people have about like how heavy should I lift? Like, is it dangerous to do certain things? What about as I get older? Like all these kind of questions.
You shared a post even from just like Women's Health blog the other day, and it was like, oh, to get toned, you need to lift lightweight weights and high reps. And you're like, oh my God, is this still happening? And evidently, yes, it is.
Yeah. So go and get the truth from episode 37. And yeah, it will mean, scrolling back a little bit, but you might see some other ones that take your fancy on the way there. So although we are taking a break, we're just taking a break from being in the studio. We've still got our amazing team of editors and our social media team who will be still picking out the best bits, posting them daily on our Instagram page at BodySmartPodcast. So make sure you're following us over on there to still keep getting these little nuggets of inspiration and information to keep you ticking over until we are back in spring, summer.
Yes. And Stacey, what about you? You're going on a new journey of
yeah.
being a mum or two.
Yeah, so I will be posting bits and pieces. I can't promise regular posts, but I will be keeping you up to date with how everything's going on over on at bodysmart.stacey. So if you want to give me a follow, you can keep up with what's going on with me and the little bean and when I'm back in the studio.
For sure.
And of course, the main man at JaymieMoran. You can't miss it. There's 3 posts today.
3 posts a day on Instagram. So yeah, we keep it busy. We keep a lot of great information going out, trying to help you guys. So lots of great information on there as well. Yeah, and we will be back. We'll be bigger and better than ever. Couple months' time. We're going to be Bodacious, according to Jess. Yep. We're going to be in a new studio, and we've got so many exciting guests lined up. That's one really great thing, actually, about this break is we've got the time to really reach out to the guests that we've been wanting to get on for ages, find dates that work for everybody, and get them down. So it's going to be super exciting. Yeah, and we'd love to know from you guys if there is any guests that you'd love to see on the podcast. Please do, drop it in the comments, send us an email, do whatever you got to do. Let us know who you'd love to see on the podcast because we'd love to get them on the lineup for 2025. I've said Bodacious 3 times. Yeah.